Hey everyone. After over a month at the anchorage at Cruz de Huanacaxtle, we are on the move again. I've got my good friend Chris crewing from flight level 0. We are getting ready to exit Banderas Bay. We'll spend the night in Punta de Mita, just on the edge of Banderas Bay, cut through the Tres Marietas Islands, and then kind of hug the coast up, do a drive-by with Isla Isabel, and then we'll head into Mazatlan.
Holy shit! Adios, La Cruz de Huanacaxtle. Adios. So I've got Chris from flight level 0 on board. Chris just flew in and jumped on keel dragger as the engine was running. No, Chris has been here for a couple days helping me get sorted.
No one will ever know that.
Yeah. All right, I'll edit the part out where I'm giving Chris credit for helping out, helping me get sorted. But so I've been at the anchorage for a month and 4 days in the marina. Give the boat a little bit of spot treatment, get the bottom cleaned to wash off all the salt on deck and everything else. I don't know, we'll see. We're not sure if we're gonna try and sail or not, but I'm pretty excited to be back on the move again after being here for so long. It's been a great stay, and I'll probably do a little cruiser's guide on this one. By the time you see this episode, I may have already posted it, but we are headed to Mazatlan. So today's mission is going to be a short one. We're going to stop at Punta Mita, which is kind of on the northwest end of Banderas Bay. I don't think we're going to land, so we've already deflated the dinghy. We'll anchor out, and then tomorrow morning we'll start heading to Mazatlan. When we get to Mazatlan, it's going to be an adventure because we have to come in at high tide. It's kind of a shallow entrance, and I'm a little nervous. I'm confident we'll be fine with it, but that's going to be a different experience for us. All right, we've got whale sightings to port now. Is there a couple of them?
Yeah. 230 or something like that.
There's 2 spouts right there. There's 2 spouts. Right by that fishing boat. We're about 5 miles out from Punta Mita. Punta de Mita. You can see it very clearly over here to starboard. And then if you look straight ahead slightly to port, that is an island. That is one of the Las Tres Marietas. So we came around on the outside of these islands, and supposedly you can take a course in between here in this pass, but when we go to Maz, we're going to go all the way around them just because yeah, one cruising guide says stay at least half mile off of Punta Mita coming this way, and then that right there is a rock. Supposedly you can cut in between the Marietas and that rock, but none of the chart sources that I have are super detailed, so I don't know that I fully trust any of them. If I had local knowledge, it'd be a little bit more comfortable. About 3 p.m. here at the Punta Mita anchorage. Beautiful here at the anchorage. The sun's kind of going down. See all these resorts. The opposite side of this golf course is Four Seasons. So this boat that was partying next to us just peeled off. We're still in the same spot. So we had 15 to 20 knots and we've not moved. We just fired up the grill and put some steaks on. Getting ready to haul out. So Chris and I have been pouring over the guidebook, multiple chart sources, looking for the best approach here with the Marietas. So I'll put a chart up. You can kind of see where we're going to cut through, but basically there's a few rocks and there's some shoals, so we have to be off of Punta Mita. All right, let's haul up the anchor. A little bit, about 12 knots of wind. So you can't see it well between here, but there's Punta Mita and there's the Marietas. We're gonna cut in between. Chris and I have been pouring over every chart we have access to, as well as the Mexico boating guide, and we think we've got a safe cut through here, so we're gonna go ahead and do it, but we'll have our eyes wide open for this. All right, we're making the cut here between the Tres Marietas. Chris, are you having fun yet?
I'm having a blast. I'm digging this.
How big are these swells?
They're tiny.
Tiny.
Little swells.
Yeah, so we got some waves.
They're, you know, 10, 12 feet, tiny.
Yeah. I was gonna say about 16 to 20, but were they about 3 feet?
Yeah, probably. I mean, realistically, 4 to 6.
No, they're not 6.
Some of them. Some of the big ones.
When
maybe.
when they stack, but
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's maybe 3 to 4 feet.
Yeah.
Short
That one right there, probably.
short interval.
I will say that aeronautical rides really, really well through these types of swells. I'm really impressed how well the boat's doing.
Me too. That's a fast boat. Adios, Punta Mita. Adios. Definitely bashing today, folks. Chris is no gentleman. He seems to love going to weather. 215 update. I would say those big swells as we were coming off Punta Mita, they're really flattened out quite a bit. We've got kind of the expected chop, but I mean, this is pretty smooth sailing for motoring.
This is enjoyable.
Yeah, so we're still smiling a couple hours into it, which is good. We've got about 35, 36 miles to San Blas. So what we're doing, I'll show you on the chart here. I can zoom out a little bit. We're gonna kind of sort of hug the coast. It'll keep us out of the current a little better, and the winds may be a little bit lighter. We'll stay within Starlink range, but far enough offshore, so we'll probably be 6 to 10 miles offshore for most of this. But we are making this cut towards San Blas. We'll pass likely in the inside of Isla Isabel, and then come into Mazatlan on the outside of these rocks here. And we have to time this at high tide, so slack tide to come in. It's not going to be a big tide. That's the big thing, is we want to make sure we get there early, otherwise we may be stuck for a couple of days. About a quarter till 5, would be a quarter till 6. But I did not realize that as we head further north than Nayarit, that the time zone changed. So it's only 4:46. Gonna have to recompute all of our times again for our approach. What this is doing is it's actually pushing us way ahead of schedule. So we left a little early. We wound up doing the cut through between Punta Mita and the rocks there, which is pretty uneventful. We're gonna have to figure out if we're gonna try and hang out somewhere or how we're gonna kill this time now. Look at this beautiful evening. Pretty chill, a little bit of wind chop. Nothing major. We're ready for the sun to go down. I've already got all the nav lights and steaming lights already lit up. We'll turn on radar once it gets a little bit darker out. We're just gonna hold our course. There's no AIS traffic to speak of. Pretty chill. Boy, I don't know if the camera's gonna capture this, but look at the sky, this kind of pink hue over the sky with these clouds. $5 a.m. update. We're actually drifting about. We've got the staysail and the main up, but we're wanted to kill a little bit of time, so we just kind of slowly sailed and drifted for a little while, for a couple hours. So we're about 7 miles off of Isla Isabel, so just killing a little bit more time, and then I'm going to fire up the engine and start and boat over there. So the plan is to do a drive-by at a minimum at Isla Isabel before around sunrise, and we get some daylight. We may do a little rest anchor there for a few hours. 10 after 6. Look at that beautiful sunrise coming up. What a beautiful morning. 6:30, and we have Isla Isabela off to our port. You can see some buildings there. I think they do some research on the boobies and frigates and all of that, and I see a few masts there as well. So we talked a little bit about dropping a rest hook here at Isla Isabela, and I was thinking at one point, would we want to get the dinghy inflated and go to shore, since we have a little bit of time to kill, but I don't know if we're feeling up to it this morning, so I think we're just gonna do a drive-by. Chris is sleeping off watch. I'll probably see if he wants to get up and take a look at the island. We're not in a big hurry, so we can hang out and drift around here too. Well, I didn't catch this humpback, but he was close. He just popped up. You could see his back, and didn't even look like he was swimming, like he was just kind of resting there. Probably woke him up. Just had a chat with One World. They're like, what do you hear for the whales? We look about 30 feet in front of us and there's a whale sitting there. I guess we've got humpbacks everywhere here. Rumor is it smells at the anchorage here.
Knows what's going on and around here and around the world. At first, we will start with emergency traffic. We'll leave a space for emergency traffic.
Isla Isabella impromptu cruiser's net.
One last car, emergency traffic.
9:05 a.m. It's getting ready to go make some coffee. The engine mysteriously quit. Suspect it's a clog in the pickup tube. I just changed the fuel filters, primary and secondary, back in La Cruz. So the only motoring we really have is from La Cruz to the dock to Punta de Mita to here. So they should be pretty fresh. I did see a little bit of pressure on the vacuum gauge on the primary. So I'm gonna monitor that and we'll see how things are looking. And next step, if the engine quits again, is I'll just go ahead and change the fuel filters again and bleed the air again. It sounds it's about 20 till 1. And this is the scene. We really haven't seen a difference in landscape. Few buoys that I worry might be nets that we kind of stayed away from, but then we just had a couple of humpbacks right off our port surface and go down, so we saw the flukes of both of them. A little after 2:30 and we've got about 55 miles to go, so we are going to get there at like midnight, and then we're going to have a long time to screw around and figure out what we want to do from there. It's a lot of time to kill between midnight and 11 a.m. or close to noon, almost 12 hours before high tide tomorrow. So I talked for a moment why you see us motoring so damn much. So prevailing winds here, especially during this time of year, I think pretty much all year, except when you're getting hurricanes or systems coming up from the south, is you get these northerlies that kind of rip down the Sea of Cortez. So the time to head north, or the time to cross the sea, is when the sea is calm, because these waves can get kind of tough, even shorter waves, because they're really short period close together. These short frequency waves just kind of chew you up. So it's not the same as like the big ocean swells that you see out on the ocean. So at any rate, we're making our way north, and we started because the forecast had light winds, and that's what we're doing. So we're kind of we're shooting our shot now to get up, and I think starting tomorrow there's another cycle of the northerlies that's going to blow for about 4 days or so. So that's why we're kind of hustling to get up here. After chatting a little bit with a friend of mine, as well as some others that are in Mazatlan right now, connected via WhatsApp, no foreign land, and Facebook Messenger, we've kind of ruled it down to a couple of anchorages to come in at night. Either Stone Island anchorage, which is just south of the main shipping harbor. You don't need permission from the port captain to anchor there. And then the main shipping harbor is another possibility, but you have to call and get permission from the shipping captain. Lots of busy traffic there, so you know, that's a little bit of a concern coming in at night, so we'll just have to kind of manage that and see how we're feeling. But as for right now, I went ahead and set our waypoint for the Mazatlan safe water buoy. It's 42.2 nautical miles away, and it's saying we're going to get there around 11:30-ish. Alright, all you can see is a few lights out there. This is Mazatlan. It's actually just a little after 10. Chris and I are making our final approach. We're going to call the port captain pretty soon, but we're studying the lights and the features and the charts as we're coming in, and being cautious. Mazatlan port control. Mazatlan port control. Sailing vessel keel dragger.
Mazatlan port control.
Buenas noches. Wanted to see if we could get permission to enter the breakwater. Over. What is
yes,
it?
Yes, you can proceed to cross the breakwater. No problem for that.
Okay, gracias. Buenas noches, amigo.
Okay, you're welcome. Standing by 16.
Keel dragger standing by on 16. So it was 172 nautical miles with an average speed of 5.1 knots. And we are anchored in 29.6 feet of water here in the old Mazatlan harbor. So we're gonna try and get a little sleep here tonight, and then tomorrow morning we will make way for we'll head a little bit north to the entrance to Marina El Cid and Marina Mazatlan, where we're going to pick up a slip for a few days. Okay.
And the depths are, you know, nothing less than 15 feet. And I looked at it because I know that there's no really good charts of this stuff, you know, that tells you what's there. So I'll send Chris another picture of the harbor entrance as I know it.
Okay, perfect.
As you're going in, like I said, you're going to aim right at that tower. Off to the right is a buoy somewhere there, towards the entrance, and that marks a reef between there and the shore. But you won't be that close to it, but you'll notice it.
Okay. So this is the old harbor at Mazatlan. It's pretty chill. We came in last night. We you know, it was a dark, so we had to negotiate this entrance behind us. As you can see, this this buoy right here and the breakwater right here. We're like right on the edge of the anchoring spot. So I thought, well, you know, if we get some wind, we get our line stretched out, we may be cutting a little bit close, but it was super calm when we came in. I think it's fine. So it wasn't too much drama other than just at night trying to find a good place to anchor, but it's kind of industrial here. There's not a lot going on. I guess there's a bit of a dinghy dock, but it's kind of being recommissioned right now. So there's a ramp. You can pay security guard 50 pesos a day. Supposedly they kind of watch for it. I hear kind of mixed stories when I go and look at active captain and hear from others about dinghy thefts and things like that. But the people that I've talked to that have been here have had no problems. So I don't know. I wouldn't have any problems really staying here, other than I think once you land, I don't think there's much here. So you'd have to hoof it or get a little bit of transportation. So there's not as much of a convenience factor. Kind of a cool spot. I'm glad we came in. The other option would have been Stone Rock, which is right on the other side of the breakwaters there. I've also seen reports of dinghy thefts and things like that, but then I have friends that have been there. They said no problemo, plenty of room, and not many boats anchoring over there. But then I think you're in for a longer dinghy ride possibly if you want to come in. So we're going to go ahead and go to Marina Mazatlan. I'll get some footage of that. The interesting thing there is going to be entering the harbor at high tide, and there's a bit of a bar that they dredge out pretty frequently. So once we get past the entrance there, I think we'll be able to rest a little bit easier. We'll tie up for a few days, and then I'll be looking at what's the best weather window and high tide situation so that we can get out of Mazatlan and head across the sea. And as of now, today's Tuesday. That's looking like Saturday is going to be our window. Mazatlan port control, Mazatlan port control, sailing vessel keel dragger. Good morning. Just wanted to get permission to leave the breakwater to exit the old harbor. Over.
Good morning. Yes, there are no problem. Navigation and channel is completely clear.
Okay, gracias. We'll be making way in 5 or 10 minutes. Keel dragger standing by.
Okay, standing by. 16.
Adios, Mazatlan, Old Harbor.
The cave right here.
So we are slowly motoring off of Isla Las Paros, kind of close to Marina Maz. We just talked to another vessel that just came out, which Pax Sapiens, and had a nice little chat with them on the radio. So they just came out. They said they draw just a hair under 6 feet. He said thinks they saw about 4.5 inches maybe of water underneath them. A little close. We're not quite at peak high tide here. We may delay a little longer. This is the Pax Sapiens. These guys just came out. So we've got an obstruction issue with the fuel tank, and sure as shit happened right as we're at the entrance here. I think we've got it clear for now. We're gonna shoot our shot.
Here's the entrance to Marina Mazatlan. It shoals in, so you can get really shallow. There's a bar there over to the right, so you have to stay as hard left as you can. That was a dredger back there. They actually had lines on both sides, so we had to stop and wait for them to drop a line on the starboard side to pass them. We just passed the Marina El Cid, and we're coming up on Marina Mazatlan over to the left, or to port. Not really showing it. I think there was an old marina there. It was maybe damaged by a hurricane. And now I'm getting ready to call Marina Mazatlan and let them know that we're getting ready to pull into our slip. So we're just kind of waiting here for a minute. And naturally, they tell us to go to a different slip. They did a change up on us. No problems. We're coming in here, just making a wide turn and heading into the port, trying to read the slip numbers. We found our slip, and a couple of gentlemen tied us up.
Holy shit. I got 13.8 here. Hey, you want to do this at night?
Yes, you can put that on camera.
Oh my God.
What do you have right now?
We're fine, we're at 12.
boat's coming out in front of us.
The El Cid Marina. Looks nice. Nice boat. I think you're home free. All right.
Coming in a little hot. Run, engine, run. Run, engine, run. Yeah, put the fenders, put all 6 on the bow. Other dredger over here to starboard, it looks like. We got live action here. Chris should have set up before we came in. We were debating whether to put all the fenders just on the bow. So I'm just kind of hovering here. I see 13.5 feet under, so we're okay for now.
I think as soon as I get this one tied down, you're good. I'll get those untied on the way in.
Wow, these are big.
Yeah.
Those? No, they're not Bonita. That's pretty wild. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Chris and I had an absolute blast sailing to Mazatlan. Please drop a comment and hit that like button. If you're inclined, you can support the channel through YouTube channel memberships, Patreon, and PayPal. It really helps me a lot. We're still at the beginning of this great adventure, so I encourage you to subscribe and join us through this epic journey. Also, if you aren't already a subscriber to Chris's channel, check out Flight Level 0. Chris has a great channel and he shares his side of this adventure, as well as a tour of an amazing Oyster 56 that we saw in Mazatlan. So check out and subscribe to Flight Level 0. Thanks, everybody. Adios.